That we do, folks. Yo, boom. Marcos 1225 numbers after the name. Games beaten. Slowly, but surely starting to catch up over here to real time, man. It's kind of crazy. I had a huge backlog of games that I kind of beat, and just I took a couple of weeks off of like playing video games, and a couple of weeks off of like making YouTube videos early in the year with work stuff. And now that we're kind of all settled in a little bit, we're starting to catch up to it. So XCOM 2, I probably beat, I'd say, somewhere in like September or something like that, October. It took a long time, I can tell you that. I'd already played XCOM 2 on the Xbox. This is on the Switch. I got it because it was like $2 or $3 one day. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'll play it at some point. And when I was on vacation, I kind of started playing it a little bit at night just before to go to bed. I was like, get a mission here, mission there. And before you know it, you're like, oh man, it's like 4 in the morning. Say word. I'm like on vacation. I gotta like do something the next day. This ain't cool. I personally probably still prefer XCOM 1 if having to pick between the two. But XCOM 2 is really good. I think it's a semantics. I think for the most part, probably people would say XCOM 2 is better. I like XCOM 1 is a little bit simpler, and I always kind of prefer that when it comes to these types of games. Just simple is better sometimes. But XCOM 2 plays really good, runs really well on other systems that isn't the Switch. Just a heads up on that. That's kind of my main complaint about this game. And I think the overall game, XCOM 2, I like. It's good if you're into these turn-based kind of tactical games. It's right up there. There's really not much else I could say over there. The story is fine for what it is. You can really go deep into it. I didn't go fully deep into it this time. The first time around, I kind of paid a little more attention to it. There's a lot of versatility in terms of the gameplay and how you can mix and match your abilities with characters and all that kind of jazz. So there's nothing I could say bad about the game. The game's really good. The Switch port, though, however, oof. I mean, listen, if you have the option of playing it somewhere else, I would recommend playing it somewhere else. 9 out of 10 times. I mean, there's no reason. Like, nothing will run as bad as the Switch unless maybe it's, like, allowed to be on, like, I don't know, the Atari or something like that. But the Switch does have the portability factor, which I guess you could do on the Steam Deck as well. I assume it runs on Steam Deck, but and you know, those are a little bit harder to get your hands on. There's millions of Switches out there. It's playable for sure. I mean, I beat the game on Switch. I think if this were your first experience with it, it'll be a little bit disappointing because it really chugs like a lot. Like, it just struggles. The loading is bananas. It takes like so long to load. I would generally go do something else while I loaded. I'd be like, alright, go into a mission. It's about to be like 2 minutes. Now you gotta be careful though, because you do have to be there to hit the A button to then begin another load, which I always hated. I was like, can we just do one big load? You don't need me to like confirm this load and then not do that. Like, come on, man. So yeah, take that for what it's worth in terms of that. But it doesn't run as smooth as it could. The loading is a struggle. Graphically, it's obviously a little bit compared to everything else. But it is an alternative to, playing it at home, and you want to play it portably. And there is a certain feel about playing it portably that kind of works, and especially just kind of suspend it on the Switch and keep it moving and come back into the mission. Works really well with a game like XCOM 2. So I played it there. I wouldn't recommend it to be the best option. To me, I think how I did it was really cool. I played it first years ago on a regular console. It ran smooth. It was great. And then I came back to the Switch and knew what I was getting myself into, but really just wanted to get through that gameplay again and have that fun loop. Then I played much of the DLC. It's on there. It's good as well. I haven't sinked my teeth into it. Maybe at some other time.